Welcome. I'm Dr. Crosby, and today we're talking about Catholic social teaching. Catholic social teaching is all about how we create societies that are just, or built on justice. So we're going to start by talking a little bit about justice and how it differs from charity. The Catholic Church calls people to work for both charity and justice. Charity tends to be easy to identify and is typically not that controversial. Whenever someone is suffering in some way and we do something to directly alleviate that suffering, that's charity. So if you are hungry and I share my lunch, that's charity. On a larger scale, if many people are hungry and I start a soup kitchen or a food pantry, that's also charity. Justice asks us to take a step back and ask, why are so many people hungry? What are the systems that are in place that are causing people to be hungry? Who's benefiting from those systems? Someone is always benefiting. So I might find that there is a food desert, which means there aren't any grocery stores accessible to people living in a certain area. Or I might find that people are unemployed or underemployed, which makes it difficult to afford food. Then, if I'm working for justice, I'll ask, how can we change this system so that people are not hungry anymore? How do we make it so that no one needs to go to a soup kitchen or food pantry in the first place? One solution that a few towns have tried and some major cities like Chicago are considering is city-owned grocery stores. These would be nonprofit grocery stores intentionally placed to eliminate food deserts. They would also hire workers who would receive all the standard benefits of city employees. To clarify, when we talk about justice in this sense, we are not talking about who is going to heaven or who is going to hell. And we aren't really talking about punishing people for their bad actions in the criminal justice system. Rather, we are talking about creating communities that are just, meaning people are treated with equality and everyone's dignity is respected. Often, we work for justice by changing policy, which might look like starting a petition, voting, or even running for office. Because issues of justice are complex and involve whole systems, they are hard to encapsulate in a single set of rules. The Catholic Church has instead given us a set of general principles that can offer guidance on how to respond to social issues. Collectively, these are the 7 principles of Catholic social teaching. These 7 principles are the main themes that you would find if you were to read through all of the social encyclicals written by popes over the past 130 years or so. An encyclical is a letter written by a pope. Originally, these would have been shared with bishops, who would then share them with priests, who would hopefully share the ideas with all Catholics. Today, though, they get posted online for anyone to read, and they are addressed accordingly to all people of goodwill, for example. The first social encyclical was called Rerum Novarum, technically the first 2 words in Latin, by Pope Leo XIII in 1891. It was about the rights of workers and dealt with issues such as the right to form a union, the problems with unrestricted capitalism, and noted the dignity that work brings to people's lives. Pope John XXIII wrote one called Pacem in Terris, which called for an end to the nuclear arms race. It was written during the Cold War. Pope Francis's first major publication in 2015 was also a social encyclical. His is called Laudato Si, and is about the environment and the problems with consumerism and anthropocentrism. Now, what are the 7 principles drawn from these writings? The first principle of Catholic social teaching is the one all the rest are based on: life and dignity of the human person. This principle means that simply by being created by God, you have an inherent dignity or goodness that can never be lost. This applies to everyone, whether you are still unborn or about to die of old age, whether you are intelligent and successful or cognitively disabled, whether you have done many bad things in your life or you are a model citizen. The rest follow from that principle. There is a call to family, community, and participation. We have rights and responsibilities. We have preferential option for the poor, meaning we take care of the poor and vulnerable first. We believe in the dignity of work and the rights of workers. We act in solidarity with people all over the world as one human family. And understand we have a moral obligation to care for God's creation. The Catholic bishops have numerous resources spelling out what these principles look like in practice, but they are intentionally open-ended and responsive to context. Ultimately, we have to rely on our conscience and the conscience of our communities to apply them well.